How does the rook lift work in the Lucena position? Have you ever wondered how to turn a seemingly simple endgame into a winning position? Today, we will discuss the Lucena position and the essential rook lift maneuver. The Lucena position is a key concept in chess endgames, especially in situations involving a rook and pawn against a rook. This setup is vital for the player with the pawn to secure a win. In the Lucena position, the player with the pawn has their king positioned in front of the pawn. Their rook is placed to cut off the opponent's king by at least one file. This arrangement is important because it creates a barrier that prevents the opponent's rook from interfering with the pawn's journey to promotion. Now let's talk about the rook lift. This maneuver involves moving the rook to the fourth rank, which is the fourth row from the player's perspective. By doing this, the player creates a barrier between the opponent's king and the pawn. This step is crucial as it protects the pawn from checks by the opponent's rook. To execute the rook lift effectively, the player must ensure that the opponent's king is sufficiently cut off from the pawn. Generally, the opponent's king should be at least 2 files away from the pawn. Once the rook is lifted to the fourth rank, it acts as a shield. This allows the player to advance the pawn safely toward promotion. The opponent will likely try to deliver checks with their rook, but the barrier created by the rook and king neutralizes those attempts. This ensures the pawn can promote successfully. Understanding the Lucena position and the rook lift is essential for any chess player looking to improve their endgame skills. It shows the importance of controlling key squares and using pieces effectively to create barriers. By mastering this technique, players can turn a material advantage into a win, even in challenging rook and pawn endgames. So, the next time you find yourself in a similar situation, remember the Lucena position and the power of the rook lift. It can make all the difference in securing that victory.